Hi, I'm Richard Waugh from Zycus, and welcome to our Procurement Performance video, part 3 of a 3-part series on the 12 steps to strategic sourcing success. So in this phase, we'll deal with strategy realization. In the first 2 phases, we formulated a strategy, we executed that through engaging the supply base and an RFX, a request for information, request for proposal, or quote, and actually awarded business. But now comes the critical part that's often overlooked, which is making those benefits lasting and sustainable, the realization phase. And it really starts with a discipline, a focus around managing supplier relationships. At this stage, there's been a lot invested to scour the market and find the best, most capable suppliers. So the focus needs to be on working closely with those suppliers to develop more and more innovation, more and more mutual benefits in that supply relationship. And it's clearly an area that top performing CPOs are focused on. 54% of chief procurement officers want to improve supplier communication according to an Ardent Partners study. That means they're able to not only measure key performance indicators and track those trends, but they're able to take action. For instance, implementing corrective action plans if and when performance falls below the targeted levels. Number 9, they're able to manage contracts. Here again, 76% of best-in-class procurement organizations have a centralized and searchable contract repository, according to the Ardent study. They can track actually not just contracts, but utilization of those contracts by actually mapping spend data to see if the contracts are being utilized, if compliance is in place. They're able to track supplier performance, of course, through scorecarding against key performance indicators in the contracts and service level agreements. They're even able to track volume rebates and discounts to make sure they're getting all the discounts negotiated in the contract up front. Number 10 in our 12 steps to strategic sourcing success is sharing information. That means having your 12-step sourcing process methodology institutionalized and repeatable, creating a repository that shares the best practices that are discovered throughout those sourcing steps in the methodology. And once establishing that knowledge base, making sure that it's there for posterity, that you don't lose the accumulated knowledge in the organization just because someone moves to a different job or leaves the organization entirely. You're not exposed and having that information potentially walking out the door. You've got it captured in that knowledge base. Number 11 then is collaborate. This is something that best-in-class organizations are 42% actually more likely to have collaboration tools in place, according to the Aberdeen Group, than all the other folks that they compete with across the market overall. 62% of CPOs, according to Ardent Partners, are looking to supplier collaboration specifically as a key strategy to managing their supply risk and reducing that risk overall. The 12th and final step then is to add up the fruits of your labor. Take an accounting of what's been contributed to the business in the form of savings and improved efficiency throughout the 12 steps of the strategic sourcing process. And one key focus here is to be able to track those savings at different stages as they move through the process. So stage 1 is the budget or planned savings. That gets updated with the second stage, which is forecast savings, as conditions change and more information is learned. Then the actual identified or negotiated savings, what happens at the end of that sourcing event or when the contract is actually awarded, that on paper there's a potential to achieve a certain amount of savings that have been identified. Tracking it all the way through, though, to the last step, the 4th and final stage, which is implemented and realized. When you can confirm and validate with your finance colleagues that those savings that were identified throughout the sourcing process have actually been implemented and are enforced through your compliance and operational procurement routines. So that's the 3rd step, strategy realization, in our overall 12 steps to strategic sourcing success. and our three-part series. I hope you enjoyed the series, and thanks for tuning in today.